So, Steven Universe returned last week for another brand new episode. The show also returned to its usual style of releasing episodes, that is one new one every Thursday instead of a bunch of new ones all throughout the week. And the first episode back just so happened to be entitled Buddy's Book. As we join the episode, we see Steven and Connie taking a trip to the library. Steven is amazed at the concept of a library, and really should that be surprising to anybody? This is a kid who, as we found out in other episodes, has never been to a hospital in his life, and in one of the comics they even said he has no idea what school is, having never attended. And I mean, really, being a half alien, why would you need to do any of those things? In a twist of fate, Steven ends up finding a book written by the first mate of Captain Dewey, the guy who discovered Beach City in the first place. This story was related to us a couple episodes back when him and Jamie put on a play. In fact, as the kids visualize the events of the story they're reading, they imagine this Buddy character looking like their friend Jamie, which is admittedly a pretty clever way for this character to come back into the show without really being part of the show. You know, it's funny, I actually probably liked Jamie more in these flashback sequences as Buddy than I ever actually enjoyed Jamie on the show. Don't know why, the character just never struck a chord with me for whatever reason. We discovered that after the founding of Beach City, which was due in no small part to aid from the crystal gems, first mate Buddy decided to take it upon himself to become a great explorer. And while he never found anything that would get him into any important history books, he did, however, just so happen to stumble across all the major important gem structures that we've seen up until this point, and even some new ones that I'm sure we'll be seeing more down the line. For uber nerds like myself who like to map out every little piece of information that we get from shows like this episode is really helpful because it gives us a nice sense of geography. In another funny bit that got a good laugh out of me, Steven and Connie decide that the gems whose appearances don't change should be wearing period-accurate clothing as well in these flashbacks. This episode actually gives us a pretty interesting insight into what Garnet and Pearl must have been thinking in their dealings with humanity. They pretty much, look at Buddy with a combination of confusion and concern. Pearl even goes out of her way to kind of try and help the guy, figuring that if he keeps screwing with gem places, it's only a matter of time until he gets hurt or worse. Amethyst, though, on the other hand, ends up being a lot more sympathetic and receptive to the dude's idea. Again, the whole being born on Earth thing, being the most human of the crystal gems, probably comes into play a lot here. Seeing Amethyst in this time period too is also kind of cool because I'm always trying to compare her age to the other crystal gems, and we can at least know for certain now that she is older than Beach City. Now, when Buddy makes one last desperate stab at Explorer Glory, he ends up taking a very ill-fated venture out into the desert area that just got introduced a couple episodes back. He could very well have died of dehydration out there were it not for the intervention of Rose Quartz and her lions. Huh, interesting. One of whom just so happens to look a lot like Steven's lion, only not nearly as pink. This is the cool thing about Steven Universe. It spins so many mystery plates at one time, you'll forget about stuff like what's Lion's connection to Steven's mom, etc, etc. Also, wow, hey, so Buddy knew all the main crystal gems in his time. That's pretty big for a human. Furthermore to that, Rose takes quite a shine to Buddy in this episode. You'll remember back in the Mr. Greg episode, Pearl sang a song about all the different men who came into Rose's life every so often. I gotta wonder, was Buddy one of these guys? Honestly, if I might theorize, I'm gonna say yes, because when we see a picture of what the real Buddy looked like at the end of the episode, he was kind of a schlubby looking dude, not unlike Greg actually. Huh, Rose had a type, go figure. As the episode winds down, Connie and Steven end up gaining a better appreciation for all the stuff Buddy did during his life, and even come to the realization that, hey, this library was named after him, go figure. In summation, Buddy's book was a fun episode. I get the feeling there's a lot of foreshadowing seeds that were planted right here, right now, that won't bear fruit until much later. It was a nice touch that in a show like Steven Universe that so often deals with amazing characters with amazing powers, they kind of reeled it back for this one episode and just showed us a regular Joe and how he related to the gems. Again, not unlike certain episodes with Greg, only now with a more historical twist to things. Overall, I enjoyed the episode. I would give it a 7 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.